So my name's Rob McLeod. I work as a preventive conservator here alongside Jill Comerford. What that means is we're looking at a range of different environmental issues across the museum with regards to our collection spaces and our gallery spaces. So that's things like the relative humidity and temperature, light levels, be they lux or UV levels coming in through, and things like integrated pest management as well. So for our collections across the museum, we've got a range of different objects with different requirements for their temperature, humidity, light levels, all things basically relating to what can cause deterioration over time. What we're trying to do by monitoring this is try to limit that deterioration, so be it by things like making sure that we've got temperatures in designated areas between things like 18 to 23%. Our relative humidities are changed depending on the objects that we're looking at. For our fossil collection, we'll be looking at lower RH ranges with a low temperature range as well, but for things like our life sciences collection, so things like taxidermy, we'd be looking at a slightly higher relative humidity, around 50%, and a similar sort of temperatures, so we're looking again at 18 to 23% for those. So across the museum at the moment, we've got over 600 sensors, all sensing various parameters. So as I've touched upon already, things like relative humidity and temperature are the main two that we'll be looking at, but we've also got monitors to check lux levels and UV levels, vibration across the sites, flood monitoring for our off-site collections to ensure that we get somebody there quickly to check if there's any kind of flood damage to an area. So our current data set, we come in, all of these are linked up through radio telemetry. They are currently coming to a front-end software that we're using by one of our contractors. Ideally, what we'd be looking at to do with the Internet of Things is try to link this into looking at not just our data set, but adding our data set to things like our estate BMS data sets, and also linking in our integrated pest management or IPM data into one whole front-end screen that all of that data is immediately available. How that would be helpful for us is with regards to things like the BMS data, quickly we can now identify if we are having an issue with our environment by looking at what the BMS data is also doing. We can hopefully try and identify what's causing that problem and quickly try to rectify it between our own team and our estates team as well. Going forward, I think we'll be looking at probably extending some of our areas. We're looking at getting new storage for certain collections, so that'll be a larger amount of sensors needed for those areas, and also looking at adding more to our touring exhibition-based stuff. So what that would mean is by being able to have all of this data coming into one area, it would be a lot easier to analyse and a lot easier to identify any issues that we've had, why we've had them, and see going forward ways we can rectify those together with partners across the museum.